Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be learning how to factor trinomials, and we're also going to be using illustrations to further enhance our understanding of how to do this. And as you can see here, this is a trinomial here, ax squared plus bx plus c. There's three terms making it a trinomial, and we can also represent a trinomial in terms of area. So for example, we have ax squared, so that means ax times x. So this is how ax squared would actually look like, and for bx it would look like this, and for c it will just look like this. So let's just get started with our problem statement. So we're going to be considering the following quadratic equation, and in this case we're doing x squared minus 4x minus 21. And just before we get into the solution for this video, I just want to say that I plotted this equation onto a graph, and when you do that, it'll actually give you the x values. As you can see, we have two values for x. The first value we have is minus 3, and the second value we have is plus 7. So let's just see if once we factor this trinomial, if we can actually get these two values. So, and our job is obviously to factorize this equation. So these are the steps that we can use to actually factor this quadratic equation. And basically the first step, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be trying to make this into 4 different terms, so we can combine 2 terms together and find out the common, and based on that then we can factor really easily. So what we're going to be doing first is actually going to be factoring this 21 here, so that we can get 2 different terms to get how much we have here. In this case we have negative 4x. So what we need to do first is we need to look if there's any coefficients attached to x, and in this case it's just there's nothing there, so it's just 1. So what we can do is 1 times 21, which will just give us 21, and then what we need to do then is factor this so we can get up to negative 4x. And if we factor 21, we get 3 times 7, and using these two numbers we can get negative 4x by doing this. So we just keep x squared as it is, and then we divide this 4x into 2 different terms. So with the factors we can do negative 7x, which is one of the factors, plus 3x, which is the second factor, minus 21. And in this case you can see that it's exactly the same. We did nothing. Minus 4x, this is also minus 4x. All we did was just separate it into 2 terms, which will make it easier for us to combine the like terms. And from there what we do is we separate them into 2 different groups. So we're going to take x squared minus 7x, and our second group is 3x minus 21. So now what we do is we find out the common between inside of these 2 terms. And if we look in the first one, so the common we can see is x, because both of them have x. So what we're going to do is we're going to take x outside of the bracket, and then inside of the bracket we're going to put what is left. So x squared, if we take out x, then we're going to stay with x, and then we take out the x from the 7x here, so negative 7 will stay here. And after that we just drop down the plus sign there, and let's see what is common inside of here. And the common is obviously 3, so we take 3 outside of the bracket, and what's left we have x minus 7. So if these 2 inside the bracket are the same, then that means you did it correctly, and if they're not, then you can probably try again and try getting these 2 inside the bracket the same. So now since these 2 are the same, now we can take the common once again and group them into 2 different terms. So for example, we can see that x minus 7 is common, so we're taking that as one group, and then what's left we have x plus 3. So this is basically how you can actually factor a trinomial, and the solution that we got for this is x plus 3, or we also got x minus 7. So if we come back here, let's see if we got it right. The first one first. In order to get 0, what can we do? We can do minus 3 plus 3 gets 0. So we can see that minus 3 is one of the solutions for our factorization here. And then our next one is 7 minus 7, we get 0. And also we are getting 7. So in this case, we factored this solution perfectly. So basically the factored form of the trinomial, x squared minus 4x minus 21, is x plus 3 or x minus 7, and we got our answer as minus 3 or 7. So this is how you can actually factor trinomials. And that basically wraps up everything for this video, but also I have included all the steps for further information, so if you're looking to learn how to do this in detail, so I'm just going to be quickly going through those slides. So for solution step number 1, feel free to pause the video because I'm going to be going through these really quick. So this is just solution number 1 on how to do it. This is step number 2. This is step number 3. And finally, this is step number 4. And that basically sums up everything for this video. So thank you so much for watching from Try to Be Useful, and we'll see you guys in our next math video.